Welcome children. Take up your English literature book, Longman Impression, Revised Edition, Part 7, Chapter 9, The Umbrella Man. Today I am going to explain the remaining part of the chapter. Before explaining the chapter, let me tell you that in my previous video, I have already explained how the narrator and her mother met an old strange man on the way while returning back home, and the old man offered the narrator's mother an umbrella, which the narrator's mother took from the old man by paying just the taxi fare. Now let's begin the story. At the next crossing, the little man turned right again. Now at the next crossing, what the narrator and her mother saw, narrator and her mother saw that the little man, he turned right again. Then he turned left, then right. Then again he'll turn left and then right. I am not giving up now, mother said. Miss, the narrator's mother said that she will have to follow. She will follow the old man and she will not give up. He's disappeared, I cried. Where is he gone? Now the narrator said that the old man has disappeared. Now, where has he gone? He went in that door, my mother said. Now the narrator's mother said that he went in that door. I saw him into that house. Great heavens, it's a restaurant. Now narrator's mother says that she has seen that man going into that house. After that, while seeing that, narrator's mother cried out, great heavens, it's a restaurant. In big letters right across the front, it said the Red Lion. Now, in that restaurant, what it was written in big letters right across the front, it was written that the Red Lion. You are not going in, are you, mummy? Now, the narrator asked her mother that was she going in? No, she said, we will watch from outside. Now, the narrator's mother told that she will not go inside. Instead, she will watch from outside. There was a big plate glass window along the front of the restaurant, and although it was a bit steamy on the inside, now in the restaurant there was a very big plate glass window, and in front of the restaurant there was a bit steamy inside. Means it was quite hot, that part inside it was. We could see through it very well if we went close. Now through that window they could see, they follow that man very well. If we went close, he stood huddled together outside the window. Now we stood huddled together outside. Now where the narrator and the mother stood, they stood outside the window. I was clutching my mother's arm. Now the narrator, she was holding her mother's arm. The big raindrops were making a loud noise on our umbrella, and the big raindrop, what it was doing, it was making some loud noises on the umbrella. There he is, I said, over there. Now the narrator said that there he is, over there. The room we're looking into was full of people, and our little man was in the middle of it all. Now, from the window, the narrator and her mother said that the room was filled with people, and the little man, he was standing in the middle. He was now without his hat and coat, and he was edging his way through the crowd. Now, during that time, he was not wearing his coat and hat, and he was edging his way through the crowd. I saw his lips moving as he gave his order. Now, the narrator saw that the old man's lip was moving up and down when he gave order. The waiter took the order and came back in a jiffy. Now what happened? The waiter took the order and came back very quickly. The little man placed a pound note on the counter. Now the little man, what he did? He placed the pound note on that corner. That's my pound, my mother hissed. Now narrator's mother hissed that it's a pound. Big golly, he's got a nerve. Now narrator's mother just hissed, and then she told that, oh, what a man he is. What's in that bowl, I asked. Now the narrator asked that, what is in that bowl? Sunday, my mother said. Now narrator's mother said that it was Sunday. The man at the counter didn't give him any change from the pound. The man from the counterman didn't give any change from the pound. That must be a triple scoop, my mummy said. Now Nata's mother said that must be a triple scoop. What's a triple? Nata asked, what's the meaning of triple? Now, mother said, 3 times the normal measure, she answered. Now, mother said that 3 times it is from the normal measure, 3 times from the normal measure. The man picked up the ball and finished the ice cream in a minute. Now, what happened? Man picked up the ball and within a minute, the old man finished it. It's a ridiculous, my mummy said, fancying upon a pound for something to finish in one go. Now, Nata's mother said that it's very ridiculous, fancying upon such a pound just for one go. It's cost me more than a pound. I said it cost me 20 pounds silk umbrella. Saying that, now Nata's mother said that it cost me more than this pound because it cost him a 20 pound silk umbrella. So it did, my mother said. He must be mad. Now Nata's mother said that yes, he did it and he must be mad. The little man was standing up and smiling. Now little man during that time, what he was doing? He was standing up and was smiling. Now, and a sort of golden glow of pleasure was spreading over his round pink face. And after drinking, he was feeling very pleasure. His face seems to be filled with pleasure. I saw his tongue going out to lick the white mustache, and he even saw that, even Nata also saw that the old man's tongue was licking the white mustache as though searching for one last drop of the precious ice cream. Now, as if the old man, what he was doing, he was searching the last drop of that precious ice cream. Slowly, he turned away from the table and edged his way through the crowd to where his hat and coat were hanging. Now, slowly, what the old man did, he turned away from the table and went to the edge where his crowd and his hat, where his coat and hat were hanging. He put on his coat, he put on his hat, then in a manner so superbly cool and casual that he hardly noticed anything at all. Now, then what happened? He, in a very cool manner, he as casual, he hardly even had noticed anything at all. He lifted from the coat rack one of the many wet umbrellas hanging there. Now, what happened? From there, he lifted from the coat rack one of the wet umbrellas which were hanging there, and off he went. Then he went off. Did you see that? My mother shrieked. Did you see what he did? Now, Nata's mother asked narrator that if she had seen anything, what the old man had did. Shah, I whispered, he's coming up. Now, narrator said that, narrator whispered that he's coming up. We lowered our umbrella to hide our faces. What happened? Nata and her mother, what they did? They lowered their umbrella to hide their faces and peeped out from the under it. And then from under that, they were looking. Out he came, but he never looked at our direction. Now the man came out, but he didn't look at their direction. He opened his new umbrella over his head and scurried down the road the way he had come. Then what he did? He opened his new umbrella over his head and then ran down the road from where he had come. So that's his little game, my mother said. Now Nata's mother said, oh, it was his little game. Neat, I said, super. Now Nata said that neat it was, very clean it was. And she said, super. We followed him back to the main street where we first met him. Now what happened? Nata and her mother again started following that man's street where they have first met him. And we watched him as proceed with no trouble at all. And then when he went to us again without any trouble, they started following him. To exchange his new umbrella to another pound note. Now, what happened? What the man was going to do? He was going to exchange his new umbrella to another pound of note. This time, it was with a tall, thin fellow who didn't have a coat or hat. Now, this time, with whom he did? It was a tall, thin fellow who didn't have neither a coat nor a hat. As soon as the transaction was completed, our little man trotted off down the street and was lost in the crowd. Now, as soon as the transaction got completed, what happened? The little man again went down the street and got lost in the crowd. But this time he went to the opposite. But that time what happened? The little man went to the opposite. Q. See how clever he is, my mother said. Now, the narrator's mother said, asked the narrator if she had seen how clever the man was. He never goes to the same restaurant. Now, what the narrator's mother said, that the little man is so clever that he never goes to the same restaurant twice. We could go on doing this all night, I said. Now, narrator said to her mother that what he could do, he could go on doing all this thing all the night. Yes, my mother said. Now, narrator's mother said, yes, of course, I will bet he prays like mad for rainy days. Now, of course, what narrator's mother will do? She will bet he prays just like mad for the rainy days. Now, take out your diary, write chapter 9, the Umbrella Man, explain, homework, revise it. And with this, I am ending my today's class.